the Sunshine State.
Hey, welcome business leaders and those that want to be. You are listening to the Focal Point Show on Tan Talk 1340. I'm your host, Gil Pinney, and I am your Focal Point business coach. Thank you for listening. I appreciate your input and time spent with us. This is a unique, one-of-a-kind program for the Tampa Bay area and pretty much the whole state of Florida. So this program focuses on key elements that help make your business grow. Every week, we touch a way to grow and improve your business and your brand. So if business is not giving you everything you deserve, please listen today and every Monday at this time, and we're here to help. The optimal way for you to gain clarity is to participate in the show, and we thrive on your participation. There are many ways to contact us here at the show. The first is just call in. It's 441-3000 is our phone number. My website is gilpinney.com. That's GILPINNEY.com. And my email address is gilpinney@yahoo.com. And last but not least, you can contact us on Twitter through @PinneyG. And no, it's not Kenny G. It's PinneyG. PINNEYG. Really look forward to hearing from you throughout the show or after the show if you'd like more information about what we do and how we do it. For today, what have we got going on today? We're going to talk a little bit about the elevator speech issue that we talked about last week, how critical it is for your business. I've received some questions via Twitter on that, so we'll talk about that. My most favorite topic, though, is the one we're going to talk about after we discuss those questions, and that's happiness, and how happiness not only relates to your success, but contributes to your success. We'll talk about that during the second segment of the show, and I hope that brings some joy to your life and puts happiness in a true perspective for you and your business career and your overall business. So what happened over the previous week? Well, I gave a talk at the Chamber of Commerce in Upper Tampa Bay. The title of the talk was 5 Secrets to Growth in a Tight Labor Economy. We had plenty of discussion after the presentation, and we got plenty of employee engagement and qualifications, so it was a good program. I'm going to give the same talk to hopefully 10 to 20 people on August 11th at the Oldsmar Chamber office. That's located at 101 State Street. It's a lunch and learn, so if you'd like to come and join me for lunch, that would be great. You can sign up at the website, which is utbchamber.com. So it's fun, you'll enjoy it, and it's a good business-oriented talk. If you have an organization that would like to have such a talk given at your function or club, please give me a call or give me a Twitter notice or email, any one of the ones above that I said earlier.
I think we call that a tweet.
A tweet? Did I say Twitter?
I don't know.
Did I say give me a Twitter?
Give me a Twitter notice or something.
Okay. Give me a tweet.
Tweet me at.
Tweet me, baby. Tweet me.
All right, settle down.
Anyway, we'll be happy to oblige and put that talk on at your location or whatever timing you would have. We also gave a time management workshop last week at one of the larger companies in the area, and it was a pretty good-sized group, and we covered priorities and creating new habits and how to avoid those deadly 7 time wasters. We also talked about improving their block scheduling system, and everybody's very, very receptive. They enjoyed the program. I enjoyed putting it on, as I always do. These workshops are always fun and very, very productive. The ROI is in the hundreds, so there's no real concern about whether or not you're going to get your money back, like with many other programs that when you have an outside trainer come in. These are very, very effective and very customized for what you want to accomplish within your company. So if you'd like to do that, again, you can tweet me or give us a call or contact me via my website, gilpinney.com. And these workshops can be anything from goal setting, time management, sales training, team building, and strategic planning. Those are the ones I give most frequently. Now we'll talk about coaching in sports, because that's my best analogy why everyone needs a business coach. Today, we saw the British Open finish on a Monday, and it finished in a three-way tie. It was very, very dramatic going down to the last hole. And I believe 2 out of the 3 had to sink their birdie putt on the last hole in order to make the playoff. So they did a great job, Zach Johnson and Louis Oosthuizen. They went into the British Open does a 4-hole playoff. They played 1, 2, 17, and 18. And the winner at the end of the playoff by 1 stroke was Zach Johnson, our boy from Iowa City, our American from the Midwest. And again, the coaching side of this is what I always pay attention to, almost as much as how well they play golf. His caddy, Damian Green, they spoke to him virtually immediately after Zach Johnson won the tournament, and I was listening on the radio from the UK. That's the great thing about this technology today, is you can listen to tantalk1340.com and hear my show around the world, just like I was listening to their show, which was being broadcast from Scotland through the BBC and onto the radio. But anyway, they spoke with him immediately afterwards, and what he said his coaching to Zach Johnson was prior to that round, and many times during the round, was to be in the moment and trust himself. And that's great advice for all of us. You know, be in the moment. Don't look ahead. Don't look at past. Live in the moment. Do the best you can in that moment, and trust yourself that you're going to do well based on all the effort that you put into the project, to your practice, that you can trust yourself and come out on the other end victorious. And I thought that was very great insight for a caddy and or coach. So Zach Johnson came through, and that's the way that goes. So why do you need a focal point business coach? Well, you do not have to be concerned that your investment won't yield a great return, because it will. We're trained and certified by the Brian Tracy world-renowned group program. The most important factor during the training is assessment whether a focal point is a match with your corporate values of integrity, commitment to excellence, passionate commitment to serve others, balance, spirit, leadership, and teamwork. That's what we strive for as a member of the Brian Tracy Focal Point franchise. So that's what we go for. That helps you know that when you get a coach, we'll be focused on helping you be in the moment and have the capability to trust yourself. And how do you feel when you come out of that? It's like hitting that home run, scoring a touchdown, meeting someone special, doing something for the first time, and just having a thrill. That's what you want to feel in your business every day. So when you think of your business, if your first thought is, what's wrong? Why is it so hard? Why am I working so hard? Well, that's what your focal point business coach can help you turn around and make you feel as positive as you did when you hit your first home run or scored your first touchdown or met that special person in your life. We have a client testimonial now that I'd like to read to you. Reading is not one of my strengths in this. But in any case, this comes from a lady. She says, "Working with you helps my ability to work through business choices more proactively, ensuring the accountability I have in approaching challenging choices has been useful with your counsel. Your understanding, clarity, and objectiveness as a business-minded peer with a keen technical periphery has been advantageous in setting better business project benchmarks. Your quality advice and feedback helps facilitate deeper insight. I appreciate the continued learning, especially knowing it supports my ambitions and endeavors." I want to thank her for that, and we'll move on to a break right about now.
What's your IRS problem? Do you owe back taxes? Is there a lien placed on your property? Have your bank accounts been frozen or seized? Have your wages been garnished? Are you being audited by the IRS? Are they sending you letters that demand actions and have urgent due dates? Well, solving your tax problems is as easy as calling Taxes 321. The IRS is the largest collection agency in the world. You need the best representation to give you peace of mind. You need experienced professionals that can cut through the red tape and stop the collection process. If you have a serious problem with the IRS, call the Taxes 321 network today. We'll get them off your back.
800-511-3022. 800-511-3022. 800-511-3022. 800-511-3022.
Hi, this is Paul Malloy, host of Freedom Works, the Paul Malloy Show, heard every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, 10 to 11 a.m. Eastern Time, here on the Tan Talk Radio Network. Please join us and our guests as we focus a libertarian spotlight on what's happening in our politics and culture. If you thought our Constitution and the Declaration of Independence really did stand for individual freedom, then you'll be coming to the right place. Again, that's Freedom Works, the Paul Malloy Show, every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, 10 to 11 a.m. Eastern Time on the Tan Talk Radio Network.
My name's Joni Siegel, and I'm the producer of the L. Ron Hubbard East Coast Golden Age Theater, WTAN Radio's presentation of Tales from the Golden Age, tales in every popular genre. Let us return you to a time when fiction was good, clean entertainment and the most fun a kid could have on a rainy afternoon, or the best thing an adult could enjoy after a long day at work.
East Coast Golden Age Theater, Monday evening at 6 on the Tan Talk Radio Network.
Go yard is a metaphor used in baseball, meaning to hit a home run. Life struggles can make you feel like you just struck out. It's times like these that we need a little batting practice to pick ourselves back up and get back in the game. Whether you are dealing with marital issues, drug addiction, rebellious teens, anxiety, depression, or just generally having a bad day, call Mama Mac. If life has you down 0-2, before you strike out, learn to go yard. Go yard with Mama Mac on this radio station, Thursdays, 6 o'clock.
Tampa Bay's fresh new talk radio. Tan Talk.
Welcome back, business leaders and those that want to be. You are part of the Focal Point radio show on Tan Talk 1340. Thank you for being part of the audience. I am your Focal Point business coach, and my name is Gil Pinney. We do this show to build our community's economic engine, which is small business. Please send any questions or ask any questions on our call-in line at 441-3000. Send me an email at gilpinney@yahoo.com. or give me a tweet at PinneyG. That's our line, at PinneyG. That's our Twitter account. So look forward to hearing from you. We are moving on now. We're going to talk about a little bit about the questions we received from last week before moving into our headline topic of the week, which is happiness and how happiness supports your business. And I'm probably getting some frowns out there from people like, how in the world can that happen? But we'll discuss it here in a few minutes. But let's talk about what we spoke about last week. Last week we spoke on networking effectiveness. And we got some great questions on that. Just remember, what we covered last week was you have 10 seconds to get someone to get to know you. And you have an additional 1 to 2 minutes to communicate who you are, why you do what you do, and what makes you different. So you really need to think out your elevator speech to maximize your ability to connect with people and make sure that you're successful in that. So this is a critical tool in your business toolbox. So what are the key areas we talked about last week about building your elevator speech? First, you need to clarify your elevator speech objective. Do you want to emphasize who you are or what makes you different? What's the focus? You want to engage the listener and explain what you do. Ask a question about the product or service that they know, and then relate that back to a product or service that you provide them. Communicate your unique selling position. That means what makes your brand stand out, and that can be either your personal brand or the brand of service or product that you're selling. The key for your elevator speech is practice, practice, practice. And this is not memorizing what you're going to say like the Hail Mary back in childhood. It's practice, meaning use your body language. Use the flow of the conversation to engage the listener and move back and forth until when it's time for you to leave, they don't want you to leave. They want to know more. That's an effective elevator speech. You also need to, with respect to body language, is smile and in your head, believe what you're saying. You need to be the number one believer of every word that comes out of your mouth. And that's important, because if you don't believe what you say, your face shows it, your body language shows it, and it will be quickly picked up by the person that you're speaking with. So have a few elevator speeches in your toolbox, because which one is most effective with the specific group that you're talking to today may be different than the one you need tomorrow. So have a couple of them ready, and again, practice them. So this is another area where you can work with your business coach, improve your overall brand, hone that elevator speech. It's a good time to stutter. Always stutter when you're talking about working with a business coach to improve your speech.
Is that a good thing? That's what we go for, right? That means that you're dedicated to the craft.
That's correct.
You want to just, you're stuck on that point. You can't.
I hear myself over and over.
Yeah, you don't want to rush it.
I am not. But yes, so clearly work with a business coach or work with a speech coach, but a business coach can tie it better with your business than a speech coach. So I'm going to go to the questions that I received over the week on Twitter about this particular topic. And the question was, do I really need to practice my elevator speech before each networking event or a large party? I think they already knew what my answer was going to be, but the answer is clearly yes. The what do you do question will be asked to you by several people. This is the opening for your elevator speech. The reason you need to practice is not for the first time, not for the second time, but if there's a large number of people at this event, you're going to get asked over and over and over again, and you don't want it to come across as routine and repetitive. So you never know if the key contact at that meeting is going to be the first person you meet or the last. So your practice beforehand helps the words flow. You get in that flow where you're working with the listener and back and forth so that you have good eye contact with each and every person. Your body language is always open and welcoming. And remember, you want them to like you so that they talk to other people and say, hey, there's a guy you really want to meet because he's an expert or subject matter person that may be able to help your business. So keep practicing in front of the mirror, and yes, do it every time you go to an event or a large party. The second question I got was, I am not an outgoing person and I am uncomfortable approaching people. What benefit is the elevator speech for me? Again, absolutely tremendous question, because there's a lot of people I meet out there that feel exactly the same way. I'm not good at meeting other people. I just don't like going up and approaching other people. Well, let me draw this analogy. The first time you do anything, whether it's flying a kite or playing a piano or rock climbing, it feels awkward and uncomfortable. You don't have to change your personality, but you can develop new habits that will improve your communication skill. And the elevator speech is really a new habit. It's taking something on that you may not like to do, like eating your green beans or something else. But habits are learned behaviors. Through practice, you'll get better at the delivery of your elevator speech, and the better you get, the more comfortable you'll get. And doing this with family and friends, you get effective and proficient. And just like playing the piano, your family and friends will give you honest feedback. When you start off playing the piano, they told you, that was good, but it may have been a little choppy here and there. Or it was really good, but I think there was a few notes that didn't sound like they were in the right place. Well, that's the same thing when you're doing your elevator speech. It's all about that practice, gaining your confidence, and bringing you up to where you want to be. So use that positive self-talk we've talked about several times. Tell yourself that you are the one person that others want to learn about and get to know, because you know your business very, very well. You are a subject matter expert and someone that can lead other people to answers that they don't have currently, or you can lead them to other people that will help them. You want to be there to make yourself communicate well and to lead people to other people or help them if that's part of your business. So, great question. If you're shy, you will not overcome your shyness, but the consistency of practice on your elevator speech will bring you to a level where you may still be shy, but you won't be as uncomfortable when you're meeting new people. The following question came in. This one came from Tampa. How can I tell if my elevator speech resonates with my target market, or more important, my target person? Tell you, you guys are a great audience. Another excellent question. Because as we said in a previous one, getting feedback from your family and friends is good when you're practicing and learning your elevator speech. But what happens after you deliver it? And you're at a critical business event, gaining business success, or for trying to get business for your success. Well, the feedback mechanisms that I recommend include bringing a wingman. So you bring your business ally to the event, but as soon as you come to the event, you separate almost immediately. And that kind of leaves out having your wife or significant other be that business ally or wingman, because you do want to separate, and it's kind of like a sine wave. You separate, come back together, separate, come back together throughout the evening. But when you meet at those short intervals, you download what information each other has gotten, and about each other, you want to ask the question, how have you met that person over there? Meaning your friend asked that about you to one of the listeners. Have you met that person over there? Do you think I should approach him or her? That feedback will be invaluable if they say, yes, this person knows this, that, and the other thing, and he'll really be of help to you. It'll also give you great feedback if the response is not quite as negative or not quite as positive as you would like. But if this person, you can use this technique for both the overall elevator speech, but also for meeting that special target person. We're going to take a break now, and we'll come back and answer one more from a franchise owner and then move on to the happiness.
Lightning fans, there's no better time to reserve your 2015-16 season tickets than now. Season ticket members get the best seats, the best discounts, playoff priority, exclusive player access, and more. Reserve your 2015-16 season tickets by calling 813-301-6600 or visit TampaBayLightning.com. The Tampa Bay Lightning. Be the Thunder.
Some people don't believe in mermaids. Hope that's not you, because they exist at Weeki Wachee Springs State Park off US 19 and State Road 50, just north of Spring Hill. Since 1947, the magic of the mermaids have been entertaining visitors at the 538-acre Springs Park. Come and watch in the 400-seat submerged theater, the Little Mermaid Show at 11 a.m. and 3 p.m. daily. Weeki Wachee State Park offers mermaid shows, reptile shows, boat tours, and swimming in the pristine spring at Buccaneer Bay. Weeki Wachee State Park is a perfect backdrop for wedding receptions, birthday parties, picnics, meetings, retreats, family reunions, or just to relax on the white sandy beach. Step back in time when things were much simpler and enjoyable. Spend the day at an original theme park. Call 352-592-5656 or log on to wikiwachee.com for upcoming events, hours, and ticket pricing. Weeki Wachee Springs State Park, where mermaids do exist.
Hey everybody, this is Pastor Marcia McAllister from Beacon of Hope Ministries. We want you to join us on Sunday afternoons at 3 o'clock on this radio station for our 2-hour show, talking to you about the Word of God, giving you great contemporary music, some lively chat, and just some food for thought. You'll be encouraged to know how very much God loves you and how He has a plan for your life. Join us this coming Sunday at 3 o'clock on Living the Good Life.
If you would like to become a wholesale buyer of the premium quality longevity products you hear about right here on the Tan Talk Radio Network for personal service, you could call Pete Greenway at 501-538-3160. That's Pete Greenway at 501-538-3160. And remember to tell him Lola sent you. Or you can go online at tantalkhealth.com. That's tantalkhealth.com. Here's to your health and longevity.
Tampa Bay's Tan Talk. Entertaining and informative radio for the Sunshine State.
Hey, welcome back, both business leaders and those that are going to be business leaders. You're part of the Focal Point Radio Show on Tan Talk 1340. Thank you for being part of this audience. I am your Focal Point business coach, and my name is Gil Pinney. We do this show to build our community's economic engine, which is you, the small business owner. Please bring any questions that you have. Call us, 441-3000. Send me an email at gilpinney@yahoo.com or send me a tweet at PinneyG. Further on that, I have a Facebook page as well. It'd be appreciated if you'd go to that Facebook page. It's called Focal Point Coaching Pinellas. Go there, please like it, and I would love to see the numbers fly up tomorrow. It's the first time I'm telling you that. I've had it there for a few months, but it's the first time telling you that and giving you that piece of information. So I would appreciate you going there and giving me a like. And if you'd like, also give some comments or use that as your means to contact me to get some of the offers that we have. The next question we received, as you remember, prior to the break, we were talking about elevator speeches and questions that we received about elevator speeches. And I got a question from a franchise owner in Palm Harbor, and his question is, you mentioned an elevator speech contest. I missed some of the details. Could you give the information again? And obviously, I am more than willing to do that. This contest is being run by the Toastmasters Club at the top of the morning in Oldsmar. The dates for the qualifying rounds of this contest are September 16 and 30. You need to attend just one. If you're selected by the group and rated high enough at either one of those two sessions, you'll then be taken to the final round, which will be held October 7th. Now, if you'd like more information, again, you can go to Facebook, and on Facebook, for the organization name is Oldsmar Top of the Morning Toastmasters. That's what you key in at the top of your Facebook page, and it will bring you to that location, and there will be much more information there. And we look forward to having you at that elevator speech contest, and who knows what you could win, other than a lot of praise from a lot of people, but there's other things involved as well. We'll talk about that later. That's September 16th and September 30th attend one of those sessions with your elevator speech, you will get rated by expert Toastmasters, and then the top few that attend those sessions will go on and compete on October 7th, and on October 7th we will have a winner. So it should be fun. Now we get to go to the meat and potatoes of today's meeting, and that is happiness or success. Which comes first? First, I'd like to credit Shawn Achor and his book, The Happiness Advantage, for much of the material that I'm going to present, because the bulk of this was his research, or research that has been done that he has put together in his book, The Happiness Advantage. Well, traditional thinking in our Leave It to Beaver days, back in the 60s and 70s, was you worked hard, you sacrificed like crazy, you become successful, and then you reach happiness. That's the way we were taught. In your mind, you're going, well, if I just get that raise, I'll be happy. Or if I get a good grade, if I score an A, then I'll be happy. If I lose 10 pounds, wow, will I be happy then? Well, this has been what we've been told is the happiness, is the formula for happiness. Success first, then followed by happiness. Do you really, truly believe that? When you promote an employee, or you lose that 10 pounds, are you still happy after a month afterwards? No, you just change your goal, move the goalposts further back, and that happiness horizon moves further and further away when you look at having success as defined by meeting incremental growth. Well, research has shown that waiting to be happy puts limits on our brain's potential, which is strange. It puts limits on our brain's potential for success rather than expanding it. Yet positive brains are more motivated, efficient, creative, and productive. So that's a lot for us to think about. So if we're happy, we can be more successful because we have the traits in our brain already, and we fuel them by being happy to make ourselves successful. So what's your definition of happiness? To a lot of people, it's just happiness in the moment, and it's a fleeting thing. Well, I prefer Shawn's definition. Shawn's definition is happiness is the pursuit of your potential. By using that definition, it helps us see that it's not a short-lived, happiness does not have to be short-lived. We can continually be happy because we know we're on the road to reaching our potential. We're always grasping to get better, always grasping to improve. And we know we're happy because it feels good making that next grab. Well, Shawn has 7 principles that he developed on his happiness advantage. The first he calls the happiness advantage, and that's, again, tests that they ran on students and people throughout the world, that positive brains have a biological advantage over brains that are neutral or negative. This principle teaches us how to retrain our brains to capitalize on positivity and improve our productivity and performance. Well, that research that he and others have performed shows that positive emotions broaden our scope of cognition and behavior. The test protocol of one of the tests was set by evoking a positive or negative emotion prior to having somebody do a mental task. And the priming may sound familiar to many of you. It was merely, you may find this task funny or amusing, versus the other priming tool was, you may feel anxiety or anger when you're doing this task. Well, those that were positively primed or thinking that it was going to be funny and enjoyable had more thoughtful and more creative solutions than the other people that were primed with the negative information. And you can look at that in many different ways for your business or for your family or your friends, that when you position something for them or frame it in such a way that, oh, you're not going to like this, but let's do it anyway, you're already setting it up for failure. So think about that when you're positioning or framing an idea for either someone in your workplace, preferably, or your people in your friend and family life. Position it in a positive fashion, and that will help them understand both where you're coming from and be more positively primed to have better answers for you and better information. The second principle that Scott has, or that Shawn has, is the fulcrum and the lever. In this, what he means is it's how we experience the world, each one of us, and our ability to succeed within it. Constantly changes based on our mindset. So this principle teaches us that how we can adjust our mindset, and he calls that the fulcrum, in a way that gives us power, which is the lever, to be more fulfilled and successful. This is a great study, particularly possibly for our audience. It was a study with 75-year-old men. What they did was take a large group of these 75-year-old men, there was 20 to 50 of them. They changed their surroundings and their clothing, and everything within their grasp were all geared to when those people were 55 years old. They did all this at a retreat. The gentlemen stayed there for 1 week, just 1 week. All their discussions, everything was around that same time period when they were 55 years old. Over that week, they developed a similar mindset as when they were 55. The 75-year-old men improved their flexibility, they improved their posture, they improved their hand strength, their eyesight improved by over 10%, and they performed 10% better on memory tests. Amazing. 1 week transposing them back in time in their mind, and the mindset had that significant improvement on their overall physical condition. In your condition, in the way you are today, if you set your mindset of yourself and your staff that what they do is unimportant, then your results are going to be poor. But if you flip that around and say, always have that expectation that what your staff does is both important and valuable to your business, then your results are going to improve. The third area of concentration, or third principle that Shawn developed, was when our brain, it's called the Tetris effect. And basically, if you played Tetris, it's a game where blocks come down and you're stacking the blocks and trying to get a specific shape or series of colors in a row. And it's kind of an old game, but it's very well understood by a great number of people. We're going to be going to a break shortly, so I'm not going to cover the full Tetris effect right now. We'll talk about that when we come back. We have a few seconds until we reach that break, but I'd like to go back just briefly to the 75-year-old men. It is such a great study to see that we can have, just by changing our surroundings. This can hold true in your office space. If you change your office space to make it warm and welcoming, I guess, goes back to the Chinese and the feng shui. But we'll talk more when we come back from break. Thank you very much. Talk to you back.
Are you looking for some great restaurants? For some great wines? Where are the great chefs? Listen to Dine Out Radio, heard every Wednesday on the Tan Talk Radio Network. 12 to 1 p.m., we'll tell you where all the great events are. We'll have Food and Wine Magazine and Bon Appetit Magazine. We'll have their editors and writers on each month. And maybe we'll throw in a couple surprises. Check out the website, diningoutradio.com.
My bridges all.
Arg, matey. When it's time for lunch, when it's time for dinner, when the show's over, when the day's over, when it's time to chill, where do we go? Over to Naughty Nancy's Food Shack and Crow's Nest Pub. It's literally in our backyard, right in back of the WTAN studios at 700 Eldridge Street, just north of downtown Clearwater. Just look for the broadcast tower. Nancy's food and atmosphere get rave reviews. The laid-back patio is a great place to hang out, dine, and listen to live music at night. And Nancy's one of the friendliest proprietors in town. And now, Nancy is serving Sunday Jazz Brunch from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. Brunch served with Eggs Benedict, crepes, waffles, lox and bagels, shrimp, oysters, and a build-your-own omelet. That's all at Naughty Nancy's Food Shack and Crow's Nest Pub, 700 Eldridge Street in Clearwater. That's right where Eldridge crosses the Pinellas Trail between Myrtle and Fort Harrison. Call 446-3717. 446-3717. You're listening to the Tan Talk Radio Network.
Did you know there's a sprawling botanical paradise right in your own backyard? Come visit Sunken Gardens. Located at 1825 4th Street North, it's St. Petersburg's oldest living museum. This 100-year-old garden is home to some of the oldest tropical plants in the region. Unwind as you stroll through meandering paths, lush with exotic plants from around the world. Explore cascading waterfalls, beautiful demonstration gardens, and more than 50,000 tropical plants and flowers. Sunken Gardens provides garden tours, horticultural programs, special events, field trips, weddings, private or corporate rentals, and much more. Call 727-551-3102 for more information. That's 727-551-3102. Sunken Gardens, 1825 4th Street North, right in the heart of Old Northeast St. Petersburg. Call 727-551-3102.
Hi, this is John Austin, host of the book club on the Tan Talk Radio Network. I spent 35 years in publishing, and today I want to tell you about a book that can change people's lives. The book is No Cash, No Problem, and the author is Dave Wagenford with Ali Pervez. Dave Wagenford is one of the greatest barter experts in the world, and he's bartered over $500 million worth of goods and services. You want to remodel your house, but the cost is just too high, or maybe there's an automobile that you've dreamed of owning but thought you never could afford. This book will tell you how you can do both of those things, plus hundreds more with little or no cash and without going into hock for the rest of your life. Maybe you're a business owner with a cash flow problem that leads to low or non-existent profits. Read this book and see how you can increase your cash flow and your profits by time-proven techniques. The book again is No Cash, No Problem, and you can buy it now on Amazon for just $7.98 for the ebook edition. Do yourself a big favor and buy it today.
From the Sunshine State, this is Tampa Bay's Tan Talk.
You're gonna be the one that saves me. And after
all, you're my wonder wall. Hey, welcome back. We got to hurry up. We only got 10 minutes left in this show, and we got one heck of a lot of material to cover. So if you'd like to call in, please do so at 441-3000. Send email to gilpinney@yahoo.com or tweet at PinneyG, and we'll get back to you. We're speaking now about happiness, and for business owners, happiness is a lot about feeling in control of your business. And as a business coach, that's what I bring to your organization. We work together to find the plan, bring control to your business, bring growth to your business, which generally yields to more happiness. So hopefully you'll contact us and find out when you can get your absolutely free consultation. I would love to meet with you and develop some kind of program that will be customized just for your business and make you successful and bring you the happiness you deserve. We were talking about the Tetris effect, and what the Tetris effect is when our brains get stuck in a particular pattern, like in Tetris, we focus on stress, negativity, and failure, and we set ourselves up to fail. Well, the Tetris effect principle teaches us to retrain our brains to spot patterns of possibility so we can see and seize opportunity wherever we look. it's really kind of cool because if you think about your brain as a spam filter, just like on your computer and email, you program that filter what you want taken out of your inbox and what you want it to let into your inbox. So if you take the negative and pull it out, you can also reprogram your brain, which is another spam filter. You can resist that initial negative and replace it with a positive. Do you know, many of us know people that as soon as they walk in a room, the first thing they do is tell you what's wrong. Well, those people need help getting reprogrammed because the first thing you should see when you walk in is something positive. When you see that thing, something positive, your brain gets reprogrammed to where you're now looking more in a positive aspect, and your brain will function much better and be more creative. The fourth principle is called falling up. So in the midst of defeat, stress, and crisis, our brains map a different path to help us cope. Well, basically what that says is if you've got a path and you think you're always going to fail, and it teaches you that you're going to take that path because the pressure's on. Well, you need to retrain your brain to say, hey, no, we're not going to take that path. I've replaced that habit with another habit. So we've all heard the story that Disney was fired because he had a lack of creativity from the newspaper. Well, the setback and judgment errors provide each of us with the opportunity to rethink and rebound. So the key word here is resilience. Do you have the resilience to use that downward momentum when something bad happens to propel yourself back in the opposite direction? So can you capitalize on those setbacks, reprogram your brain to think positively about it, to become happier, more motivated, and more successful? It's a really good principle. The next one's really kind of fun too, and that's the Zorro Circle. For anybody out there that's seen Antonio Banderas and Anthony Hopkins in Zorro, you'll relate to this. The Zorro Circle is the circle that Don Diego, or Anthony Hopkins, drew on the ground and made Zorro, who was Anthony Banderas, stay inside that circle and do his training within that circle. What in the heck does that have to do with business, you say, or happiness? Well, when challenges come to us and we get overloaded and overwhelmed, our rational brains get hijacked by our emotions. So what this principle teaches us is how to regain control by focusing on small, manageable goals, then gradually expand our circle to achieve bigger ones. A key here is when you walk by and you see somebody with a cluttered desk or their work area is a problem that haunts a lot of people. So having things cluttered, that means the things in life have gained control over the functionality of our lives. Your productivity suffers, and the key thing here is walk through, do the 5S technique. What do you use every day? Keep that on your desk. What you don't use every day, or maybe you use once a week or once a month, put it somewhere else, file it, get it off your desk, and then that helps clean your desk up. And make sure you come back once or twice a month and follow up and make sure that you're not repeating old habits. The next is one of my fun ones, which is the 20-second rule. The 20-second rule, which, how do you sustain your lasting change? Your willpower is limited, and when your willpower fails, what happens? You fall back to your old habits, and you succumb to the path of least resistance. You know how to deal with things in the old way or a poor habit way, but now the pressure's on, you go back to that old habit. So how do you replace that bad habit with a good one? Well, this is habit change. You have to set daily reminders and cues to build that habit. In the happiness context, think about how often you smile. To change your habit from no expression or frowning to more frequent smiles, pick out something you do frequently, whatever that is. And just use your cell phone. Every time you pick up your cell phone, when you pick it up for whatever reason, smile. If you do this for 21 consecutive days, that habit will become permanent and replace your old habit. And guess what? you'll be smiling one heck of a lot more than what you ever did before. It'll be noticeable. It'll improve your overall well-being as an individual, but your happiness quotient as well. The seventh factor or principle that Shawn speaks about is social investment. And when we have challenges or stress in our lives, a lot of people just hunker down, they retreat within themselves, and many business people feel that, you know what, I'm all alone in this, I've got to fight through it. They ignore their family, friends, and peers. But this principle teaches us how to invest more in one of the greatest predictors of success and excellence, and that's your social network. So that social network includes, as I said earlier, your family, your friends, your key workers. You can't be alone. You have to rely on those people. Knowing that you can rely on those people helps your happiness because you know you're not going to be alone. But if you do try to resolve that crisis on your own, what have you really gained? Yes, you may have averted that crisis, but did you build your team? Did your colleagues and friends strengthen their bonds between them and you? Did your family feel more part of your life and business? And the answer, if you're going it alone, the answer is no to all of those questions. Now, if taking over a crisis really makes you feel good, think about the downside of that, which is, as I said, how your friends, colleagues, family feel about you doing it all on your own. You need other people in your life, and those that rely on other people have a better outlook on life and resolve their crisis situations better. So don't wait for a crisis to build those relationships. Ask for assistance. Ask people for their opinion. And in one case, speaking of going alone, I'm always available for free consultations. It's one of the great feelings that I have being in this business is to help business owners who really previously felt alone. Now they have someone to relate to for really important issues, both in their business and possibly in their family life. So your focal point business coach can serve you very, very well and bring you the success that you desire and deserve. Always remember that your business coach can fit any budget. We do one-on-one, we do group scheduling. Group coaching is very effective. You get basically one-on-one coaching one time out of a month, and the other 3 times out of the month you're with other people. So it really works out well. You get plenty of input on your business, and you get other people to look at your business as well. The same is true of having friends and peers help you through that process. So please, give me a call. My direct line for my business is 727-537-9680. Send me an email at gilpinney.com or go to my website or give me a tweet at PinneyG. Let's talk about next week. What do we got coming up next week? I'm fortunate to have a small business owner come in to visit. His name is Dan Martin of Martin's Pest Services. He specializes in pest management for homeowners and commercial businesses. We're going to have a great talk, figure out how he does things. He's one of a real successful guy. He's run a number of different types of marketing campaigns, and he's developed a positive growth trend in our business. And he's a fun guy to talk to. We're going to enjoy next week, and the program will be much better for that. And I think
WTAN Clearwater, Tampa Bay. WDCF Dade City, Tampa Bay. WZHR Zephyr Hills, Tampa Bay. Listen.
A new era for Cuba and the U.S., talking up the Iran deal. I'm Ann Cates. Diplomatic ties have been formally restored between the U.S. and Havana, with the Cuban flag now flying in Washington. Secretary of State John Kerry also had a one-on-one with Cuba's Foreign Minister Bruno Rodriguez. Says it's a new beginning.
We both ratified our interest in normalizing bilateral relations, knowing that this will be a long and complex process which will require the willingness of both countries.
Congress now has 60 days to study the nuclear deal with Iran. Correspondent Jim Acosta has reaction from Capitol Hill.
There is some criticism on both sides of the aisle. A lot of the Republican presidential candidates, nearly all of them, have said they're going to tear up this nuclear